Hello everyone, welcome to your 4 p.m. slot. It is at the moment 5 to 4, so we've got a little bit of this entertaining preamble, and whilst we just wait for people to start clocking in and signing on to the movement register for today's movement snack. So feel free to put a hi up, even if you're doing catch up. We always go back and read all of the comments and reply to any questions that you have, or just give you a wave on our replies as well. But we do look at them, and we appreciate you keeping in contact with us. That's if you want to, of course. Now, today's been kind of a jam-packed day for movement snacks. You had Dave at 8 for your wake up movement snack. Beck's special edition today came in at 10 o'clock. So if you did that movement snack, you've probably done quite well in bagging up to about 35 to 40 minutes there. I'm sure her movement snack was way beyond what our normal snippets are for the regular slots. Bex was also back with you at 12 noon, so if you've clocked that one as well, you've got a triple. We like a triple or a trio, don't we, here at Movement Mission Headquarters. So you would have perhaps done the triple by your 12 noon movement snack. So this one's just a bonus, really. We will repeat, of course, one or two things, and you'll see some overlaps within the movement snacks from the 8 a.m, the seated alternatives and options movement snack that Bex did at 10, and also the 12 noon. There's lots of crossovers, everything kind of leans on the next thing, and this is why we try and encompass so many different types of activities and movements into each one of these movement snacks. Right, Christine, your first one in. Oh, I'm not Bex. Has Bex said hello then? I've not seen Bex come on yet. As far as I know, Christine, you're the first one to message. Here's Maya. Good afternoon. She's from Inverkip. I'm guessing Scotland. I might be wrong. I'm not the brilliantest at geography here. So correct me if I'm wrong, Maya, please do. So we've got first and second place coming in. Who's third to throw up a message for me on here? And may I ask that one of you is my timekeeper. So if you can give me kind of a 30-second or a go on the messaging, that'll be brilliant. We just do not have any portable clocks in this house. It's either electronics, laptops, different bits and pieces like that, but none of the old-fashioned things. Oh, you're all right, Christine. I did call Dave and Bex yesterday, got kind of intermingled into Bave and Dex, so I'm not quite sure. I thought it was quite amusing. Eric Mifleur is in, my mother's old school friend, so hi Erica, great to have you in on this movement snack. It's all about doing what you can, and of course taking some of these movement patterns and things that we've practiced and putting them into everything that you do in your day-to-day goings about. Right, we've got a few more people in. Apostolis is in. Hello from Greece. We've got Vivian in from good old Bolton there. Erica is from Leicester. Christine is in, we've said hello already, and Maddie from Dagenham. So we've got quite a good scattering of you all. Yes, thank you. I did get Inverkip being in Scotland. Now we've got Dee who comes in from time to time. Calgary. It's actually in Canada, but here's me thinking it was another somewhere in Scotland. It's about as good as me in French, isn't it? Right, we've got Carol in. Christine's done all three so far, so she's done the treble already. Thanks, Viv. We've got a 321 call, so feel free to leave the comments up on screen if you want to keep messaging throughout. Obviously, it's more important to move than message. but it's up to you. I'm going to sweep the comments to the side so I can see that I'm in the full screen, and hopefully you can see that as well. So here we go with the 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. This is your 4 p.m. call for your sway and stretch movement snack for today, being Saturday the 11th of July 2020, of course. We are going to get started with the good old circulation boosting, which can be done at any given interval throughout your day, just to get everything boosted and get some blood moving around your body. So especially if you've been sat down for a while, you'll find that a circulation booster before you rise from your chair and set off to wherever you're going, a circulation boosting could come in handy just to wake up those joints and muscles and increase blood flow, of course. So here we go then. If you want to start with legs first, have a think about what your posture is up to, and we've done lots of lengthening through the middle part, lengthening through the spine, shoulders up, back and down, relaxing them away from the ears so that we can lengthen through the neck. Keep your chin tucked in if you can. And these small adjustments are more maintainable than if you're really forcing your posture into a more upright position. Now, getting the legs moving then, picking up the knees if you're into a full leg march, and this is seated and standing. If in seated or standing you just prefer to start with some heel lifts, some ankle pumps, then feel free to do so. In the chair, sitting evenly over your hip bones or your sit bones as you move away there. So we're getting a bit of a crease across the toes. If you're picking up the feet, then have a moment to just focus on, have a look if you like. I know we've set up good posture, but sometimes we need our eyes to kind of get an idea of what's going on a bit lower down. So have a look. Toes, ball, heel should be what we're trying to achieve with our leg marches. A bit of movement through the foot, through each foot, not just the ankles itself. They all work together, don't they? Knees around the same height for your knee lift. And if you're feeling okay with your balance, then try and pick the knees up a little bit higher. So we're not necessarily going faster, but we're making the movements a little bit bigger. In the seat, if you were to do that, chances are your posture may be thrown back. So just be aware how high those knees are lifting and what's happening around your posture. Let's have some arm swings then. So take up some support with the hips against something behind you. In standing, if you want to move both of your arms and still feel stable. Feet are about hip distance apart as well in all of these standing postures. Any much narrower with the feet, and you do find this out on Fridays when you do Bex's, well, you did Bex's progress checks this week. The narrower the feet are together, the more tricky it can be for your balance. And as balance isn't one of those things that we're working on as we boost circulation, we can take up some support and be mindful of where our feet are with our base of support. Whether that be your feet, the placement there, or where you are sitting in the chair. Take a pause there, because that was probably a little bit longer than a minute or so, wasn't it? We're going to head into the sway part now. So thinking about your breathing, being mindful of your breathing. So just for a moment, sitting, standing comfortably, active posture. Just take some deep, longer breaths in through your nose and let the breath be pushed out through the mouth. Just take a moment to notice the chest rising and falling each breath you take. All right, if you can, if you don't feel it's too complicated or complex or coordination-y when we do the sway, have a go at trying to match your breathing with the sway motion. Here in standing, confident in not holding on, we've got a push and a pull with your arms sway by the side of you. If you do need to have some support, and you can work both arms just with a bit of support behind you. Your arms, of course, might not be able to travel as far behind you, but you're not having to contend with your balance. Here in the chair, easy enough. In seated, active posture, the shoulders are relaxed, the arms are swinging through like a pendulum. Breathing in, breathing out. So you may find that if you focus your breathing in on the movement, your movements will need to just become slower. Have a go at taking a bit of a bend into your knees if you're in either standing posture. If you're without support, you can see how I'm able to include a bit of a trunk twist. So we're not whipping the head around, it's just changing the gaze slightly from 12 o'clock to 10 to 2. If your balance is challenged through that small gaze change, then again have a think about getting yourself into a bit of supported position, so you can focus on the movement rather than your balance. So in the seat, you can have a go at pressing your feet into the floor and clenching the muscles in your bottom, in your buttocks. So there's a bit of activity there, although you can't perhaps see much activity, but you should be able to feel some clenching. Let's call it that. It is what it is, isn't it? Around your buttocks. Okay, take a pause there. We're going to keep with the knee bends. Just watch this first and then take a few rounds through yourself. We're going to start with some knee bends. Just shallow knee bends. And then every now and again, as the arm comes through, we're going to take it round and come back to the middle and then start again. So take a pause in the middle, and here I go with my other arm on the other side. So there's a bit more of a significant trunk twist going on there. And a change of gaze. Here I go again with that arm circle. Can be quite low. If your shoulders are uncomfortable moving into kind of Christine's rainbow, then it can be a shallower rainbow, or we can keep our arms at quite a low level. Depends how your shoulders feel. Move to what you can though. Pause in the middle and then take it on the other side again. And that is much slower. Now we have been putting some leg pedals in, but I've got a confession for you today. I was practicing and I just couldn't get it. Here we go in the seat. Looking, following the hand round through your gaze as well. Pause in the middle. As many sways in the middle as you see fit for yourself. But we're trying to alternate sides through the flow of the arms so that we're working evenly, but of course taking a bit of a pause in the middle. Just have a go at doing one more on each side, swinging the arms from the shoulders, a slightly bigger movement if you can. Now this is going to really try and warm through the shoulders as well, and complement what we're going to do within the stretches which are coming up. So take a pause there, take a moment of being still, relaxing the muscles in your body, but still feeling strong in your seated or standing position. All right, so we're going to recap something that Bex did earlier before we go into our back of arm and side stretch. So earlier in Bex's seated options movement snack, so I'm just fidgeting around trying to find the best place to go. There was a movement that looked like this, and you can do this in standing. Have the support behind you should you need it. And we're going to take the arms up and bring them back down. So just fold your arms across the front of your body. Now, as your arms raise up, try and keep the shoulders down and the neck long. But as they get a bit higher up, elevate and then come back down. So just watch again if that shoulders are level away from the ears. We're going to move up through the arms. When we get to our point, whatever your point is, try and lift the shoulders up, press them down, and then let the arms come down. Try 2 or 3 more of those. So this is when your arms are up, the shoulder lift that we have in the morning routine. Try not to lead it with a lift though. You see, I'm looking a bit awkward now, aren't I? So try and lead it with the arms moving around the shoulder joint and then elevate in the middle. We do need that movement of elevation, especially if we're reaching into higher places. And that's another benefit of us moving through your tricep stretch, so this stretching the muscles at the back of the arm here. So take your hand onto your shoulder, elbows rising up. I'm coming a bit closer, come here you lot. As far as it can go, trying to keep it close to your head. If you want to, get a bit of a stretch going on in the side area, then you can support the arm by all means. Just lift the elbow, get it a little bit further up, and we've got a small side bend. Again, something that we've been practicing in the morning routine. Have a relax there. Let's take it on to the other side then. So up we go, just holding it there, few seconds, letting that muscle come into a stretched tension you should be feeling. Work with what you've got in your shoulder, an extra stretch with a bit of a side bend on the opposite side, so where we bend on one side we lengthen on the other, and recover. And those of you who want to do a full stretch, just reach your arm up, give an extra reach. You should be able to glance up and still see the palm of your hand, so it's not over the back of your head but slightly in front, and recover. Take it on to the other side. So work through that position if that feels better for you, seated or standing. Use your support, either hold your chair, hold on to the sideboard like so. Take a pause there. So right, in the seated position then, have a look at this. What we're trying to achieve here is a wrap of the arms around the body, round in the back. You're allowed to do it today, and then pressing the arms back. So try and switch the arms across. I know a few of you have said that you quite like this movement. It's preparation into the chest stretch. And if you're in standing, hips against something, or freestanding. And on this next one that you do, hold it into a chest stretch. So either hands on the side of your hips, the shoulders are down, squeezing back with the shoulders, and the elbows are going back as well. If you're in the chair, your hands might be more towards the back of the chair, a light grip onto it and a squeeze from there. Hold and breathe, everybody. Hold and breathe. Chin is level, eyes are level ahead of you. Shoulders, again, just have a think about where they are. They should be back, of course, to lengthen the chest area, but not hunched up near your ears. Press down, bit of a space, a gap between ears and shoulders. Right, take a pause there, everyone. Okay, we're going down there. Get some legs stretched. So let's have a think about our calf stretch. So in standing, take up some support for sure here. Feet apart, striding one leg back. Now your stride might be shorter or a little bit longer than my stride. It doesn't matter where it is, as long as you feel okay with your balance and that back heel is pressed into the floor. Quite often that sneaky back toes stick out, so just again have a glance down and have a go at just moving the foot so that the toes are forwards. Here we are with our front leg bent and our back leg straight, posture's lifted, shoulders are pressed down. We've got a diagonal line from head, shoulders, hips, knees, and it's not toes here, it's ankle. Take a hold of that for a few more seconds and then change sides, and here we are with your seated version. One leg out straight, active posture, lengthening through. We can just focus on pulling the toes back and trying to scoop the heel under a little bit more. The muscles in your shin area are going to be working to hold the toes in that position. Sit up tall rather than lean forwards, and the back of the calf muscle, which of course is at the back of your leg, should be in a stretched position there. Those of you in standing should be about done your second side now. Change over in seated, and if you're in standing you might want to come down and join us in seated for the inner thigh stretch, which is coming up now. Take a pause there. Okay, so inner thigh stretch. I'm just going to move my chair to be better. Take a controlled sit down. Feet are planted onto the floor and we just take them out a little bit wider. So it's not the most elegant position, ladies, but it'll do the job of stretching your inner thighs. So have a think about sitting upright, lifting and lengthening out of the hips, pressing your hands on the inside of your knees, and as you push your knees a little bit wider, try not to hunch. It's almost too easy to do that sometimes. So as you press your knees wider, your chest will come forwards a small amount into a bit of a forwards tilt position. Just take care with any rounding. Lift and lengthen, press, and there's a small tilt forwards. So, sideways, getting over stuff. Getting in and out the car may require a degree of stretch. Turning over in bed may require a degree of stretch to occur around the inner thigh areas. We've got one more stretch to do, haven't we? Back of thigh. So, in seated, just take that back a bit more so my feet stay on screen. Yeah, just. Now, you can see the sole of my shoe there. I don't want to have my toes pointing up, so I'm going to point my toes away. The other leg, foot flat, planted, grounded, hands on the bent leg. So here we go, sitting in slouch. But now we're going to improve our posture, lift and grow. When you're in the most tallest seated position you can be in, tilt forwards. And again, we're looking at that head, shoulders and hip position, diagonal line, straight down. So we're not seeing a spine in a hunched C shape. We're trying to lift and lengthen out of it. In standing, this can be a tricky stretch some of the time, coordination wise and balance. So make sure that if you're doing it in standing, you are able to get the muscle that we want, and that is the muscle at the back of the leg on the straight leg. So you might prefer to have your support directly in front of you. You can see the tilt of the hips and the sit back of the bottom is still there, similar to the position the seated people are in, and recover. Take that on the other side, everyone. In seated, one of the reasons why we ask the ankle to be relaxed and loose is that if it is pulled up, then you're more likely to pull a stretch into the calf area than get behind the knee and up the back of your thigh muscle. So loose ankle, loose knee, lift and lengthen, tilt and hold. Bit of stretch tension you should feel. Take it a bit further if you can on any of these stretches. Now, we normally have only enough time to do one stretch of each of those muscle groups, but actually to develop your flexibility, then you can repeat these up to 3 times over. And these are great to be done at the end of something. So when you've done your half an hour mowing the lawn or digging up something or been out for a walk or whatever it is that you've been doing that's got your body warmed up. Stretches love a warm muscle, and our bodies give us a bit more when our muscles are warm as well in relation to stretch. So we are done. Happy Saturday, everybody. Really cranked up those movement minutes today, haven't you, some of you? So well done if you've done the quad. Excellent if you've done the triple. If you've not quite done as many as you wanted to do today, catch us up later. It all is movement minutes bagged. So take care, everyone. Have a lovely evening, and remember, it's that keep on crowbarring, isn't it? So take care, and thanks for tuning in. Ta-ra!